we're going to look at multiplication with and without compatible numbers for estimating. All right, so first of all, let's just do a quick little review of multiplying.
Okay, so let's review our multiplication by one digit. So first you're going to take 2 times 3 and you get 6, and then 2 times 2 and you get 4. So 23 times 2 is 46. All right, so now let's review a 2-digit by 2-digit. So 24 times 12 is the problem we're going to look at. So you'll first go from the ones place with the ones place. So 2 times 4 is 8. And then the ones place to the tens place. So 2 times 2 is 4. So you're finished with this. There's nothing else to multiply the 2 by. So you're done. So you tick, tack, 2. And then now you do the tens place times the ones place. So 1 times 4 is 4. 1 times 2 is 2. So you have two partial products. So now you want to add those together. So 8 and 0 is 8. 4 and 4 is 8. And 2 and nothing is 2. So 288. All right, so let's move on and look at when you're going to do 3-digit by 2-digit. It's really nothing different than a 2-digit by 2-digit. You just have one more place that you'll multiply by. So let's do 123 times 24. Okay, so you have 4 times 3, which is 12. So 2, carry your 1. So you have 4 times 2 is 8, plus 1 is 9. You've got another digit, so you got to go 4 times 1 is 4. There's nothing that was carried, so it's 4. And so remember that you're going to tick, tack, 2. So you want to get rid of that so we don't accidentally add it, and we're done with the ones place, so we're going to mark that one out. So then you go to the tens place. So tens place times the ones place, and then tens place times the tens place, tens place times the hundreds place. And if we had more, you keep going. So 2 times 3 is 6. 2 times 2 is 4. And 2 times 1 is 2. So again, you have your two partial products. So now you want to add those up. So it'd be 2 and 0 is 2. 9 and 6 is 15. So 5, carry my 1. 4, 4 and 1. So 4 and 4 is 8, plus 1 is 9. And 2 and nothing is 2. So factors of 123 times 24 would give you 2,952. All right, so you guys will go ahead and practice on the next slide.
Okay, so here's your two problems, 231 times 23, 431 times 45. So go ahead and pause it and practice these two. So you'll bring these in tomorrow. Okay, so whenever you went through and you did them, so you did 231 times 23. So first 3 times 231, and then 20 times 231. So two products of your partial products add together, and you get 5,313. All right, and then this one that we should have already done as well. So you get 431 times 45. First partial product, 2,155. Your second partial product is 17,240. So it gives you a product of 19,395. Okay, so next we're going to do is we're going to look at compatible numbers. Compatible numbers are just like it's in the what you do with a different way of rounding. So it's when you work with numbers that are easier to get to a close value that's close to the actual value. So let's look at this one, compare the two. Compare rounding and compatible numbers. So you've got 25 times 41. So if you rounded, you would do 20 times 40, which would be 2 times 4 is 8. There's 2 zeros in my two factors, so there should be 2 zeros in your product, so 800. So compatible numbers, you would go where something is easy. So yes, 20 is easy, but 25 is also easy, and the rounding is much closer, where you rounded it off to. So you would take it to 25, because working with quarters is easy, and we know that there's 4 quarters that makes $1, so then you would do 25 times your 4, which would give you the $1, so it would be 100. So you're not going to use the decimal because there's no decimal here. And then you have another 0 that you'd add on because there's a 0 in your product in one of your two factors. So that would be 1,000. So if we go and look at the actual, because remember when you're estimating, you want it to be as close to as possible, the most accurate that would be without having to get the exact answer. So we have 800 or we have 1,000. And the actual answer to 23 times 41 is 943. So you see that using compatible numbers is closer. So when would you most likely use compatible numbers instead of rounding? You usually will do this when you're looking at numbers that can be either 25 or 50. Otherwise, using rounding or compatible numbers will probably be about the same. Use 25 or 50 because their numbers are easier to work with because they're talking about looking at fourths or looking at halves and you can look at those as quarters and money that we're used to using it with. All right. So here we go is another one, 44 times 32. If you round it, you get 1,200. If I were to take 44 to 50 times 30, it's going to give me 1,500, 1,500. So the actual answer to 44 times 32 is 1,408. So you see that again, it is closer to the compatible number, using compatible numbers rather than just rounding. All right, so be sure you bring in those two problems worked out. We're going to get into compatible numbers a little bit more. So have those two problems and then add compatible numbers to your words if you haven't already. All right, see y'all tomorrow.